Good morning, everyone. Congratulations. So good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Maria Puzzafero, and I have the privilege of serving as interim president of Santa Fe University of Art and Design. On behalf of the university's board of directors, the faculty, the staff, and administration of the university, I'm pleased to welcome those of you assembled here today to celebrate Santa Fe University of Art and Design Class of 2016 Commencement Ceremony. So as you entered the tennis center this morning, you were greeted with music from the Ash Wilhelm Quintet. I want to thank them not only for today's performance, but for their outstanding performances throughout the year. So thank you. We will open this year's ceremony with our Performing Arts Theater students singing Run, Freedom, Run by Mark Hallman and Greg Kotis. So I will now turn it over to our students. Wow, that was amazing. Thank you so much for that. Now I'd like to invite Brother Don Mouton to come forward and deliver this morning's invocation. So please stand.
The event in which we are participating today is known as commencement, an ironic term, for although it literally means a beginning, it also signifies an ending for our graduates today. It is the ending of a collegiate career and the beginning of new possibilities in life. In the northeast corner of Nova Scotia is a beautiful Cape Breton. At the end of one of the most picturesque roads along the St. Lawrence River, lined with spectacular panoramas, is a small sheltered bay called Whispering Cove. A tourist was advised by a fisherman, go there because it's mighty beautiful. Upon arrival at the cove, the tourist asked a local old-timer resident, what usually brings people here? He shrugged. As far as I can tell, it's not the being here that's so good, it's the getting here. The being here today is good. And I hope for the graduates, so was the getting here. This is actually the beginning of my prayer for this commencement. It is a prayer of thanksgiving for our graduates who, we sincerely hope, can say about this event we are celebrating this morning, the getting here was good. With thanksgiving, we lift our hearts in praise. Provident Creator God, we rejoice in your caring providence as we recognize the hard work and accomplishments of our graduates and the support of all those, family, faculty, staff, and friends who have accompanied them on their academic journey to this day. Fill our graduates with courage as they continue their life journey with renewed hope and joy. Amen.
You can be seated. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Don, for beginning today's ceremony with a blessing. Today we come together as an academic community to recognize and honor those among our students who have fulfilled their hopes and dreams by completing programs of study for their baccalaureate degrees. These talented and committed individuals, our graduates, are here this morning to have their degrees officially conferred upon them and receive recognition and congratulations from friends and colleagues. We are so proud to celebrate our 175 students who are graduating today. Class of 2016, you have each come a long way since you first began your time at Santa Fe University of Art and Design, as some of you like to call it, SFUAD. SFUAD. And you have all grown into inspiring and thoughtful artists. We are so, so very proud of you. You all are our future, and we know that we have helped you prepare to become tomorrow's creative professionals. So we come together today to celebrate you, to celebrate your accomplishments, and we look forward to all the future has in store for you. At this time, it's a pleasure to introduce the members of the platform party, so I will ask that they stand when I call their names. First, we have our Grand Marshal of today's ceremony, Brother Don Mouton, who's also a professor in the Liberal Arts Department, the president of Santa Fe University of Art and Design Charitable Foundation, Mike Swain, contemporary music professor Steve Paxton, our esteemed commencement speaker and honorary degree recipient, Jack Loeffler, and Deborah Tervala, Provost. And I would also like to recognize our student speaker, Max Marriner.
I know that guy!
Special guests from our board of directors also on the platform include Tom Agason, Bonnie Copeland, Esteban Real Galvez, and Bill Williams. Also on the platform are the chairs of our academic departments and our registrar, Mary Angel, who put all of this together. She has put this commencement ceremony together for how many years? This is her 15th year putting this ceremony together. Thank you, Mary. Finally, I would like to recognize Professor Gail Springer of the Performing Arts Department. Gail is also serving as our faculty marshal today, and she's retiring this year after serving this campus and thousands of students for 35 years. Will all other faculty also please rise and be recognized, and thank you. We would like to give you a round of applause and thank you for your unwavering commitment to the success of our students. I would also like to recognize our dedicated staff, many of whom have worked diligently on the logistics of commencement today. We appreciate all of your efforts led by Mary Angel and the rest of the commencement committee. So please, volunteers and staff, please stand so that we can recognize you. Last but not least, I would ask all of the family members, the people who made everything possible, the family, the friends, the people who made everything possible for our graduates to be here today to please stand. We also owe you a huge round of applause and thank you. Before I introduce our student speaker, I would like to make a few remarks to our graduates. First of all, I want to thank you all for welcoming me as your interim president. In my brief time here, I feel so fortunate to have been graced by your inspiration, your creativity, and your talent, so thank you. So today you're going to get a lot of advice, plenty of advice, but I'm going to give you just a few words. First of all, I want you to know that the most important thing you can do is to leave here believing in yourself and being resilient. Every failure, every success, those are all opportunities, and don't lose yourself in the setbacks. Unfortunately, you will have challenges, you will have setbacks, but each of those are a lesson, so take each lesson as an opportunity. Second, find a mentor. Find many mentors, and you have many in your faculty, in your community, and use those mentors because those are people who believe in you and will give you opportunities. They'll share their advice, their wisdom. They'll create the opportunities for you that are the stepping stones in your career and the stepping stones in your future. So create those networks, let people in, and be open to their help and assistance. Remember that you're not only an artist, a designer, an educated person, a potential employee, a college graduate, but you're also a member of society with great responsibilities. Somebody said yesterday, artists help us see the world. And it's so true. That's a huge responsibility because you are a creator of culture. You have a social and ethical responsibility to go out into the world and use those talents to create the social, political, and cultural change that's needed in the world. And you're going to need the fortitude to make important and sometimes very controversial statements that become impetus for change. So your work lays the foundation for the future. And finally, follow your bliss. Trust your intuition. Following your bliss began when you came to school here, and now as you graduate, another door opens. So I'll leave you with a quote from Joseph Campbell, which is, "Follow your bliss and don't be afraid, and doors will open where you didn't know they were going to be." So take today as the next door that's opening for you, and know that we are all here to support you, and we are all here so proud of you and your accomplishments. So now it's my pleasure to introduce our student speaker, Max Marriner, who's a remarkable young man who will be earning his BFA in film today with an emphasis on production. Max is from the California Bay Area. Throughout his time here, he's directed many short films and has written and hosted an award-winning web series called Real Talk, where he speaks to the audience about issues in the film industry and various movies. And in addition, for the past 4 years, Max has hosted a movie screening club at The Screen, which is our on-campus movie theater. So at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Max Marriner.
Thank you, Dr. Fusifero, and thank you everyone for coming, especially you guys. It's a big day, and for a lot of you, this might be your first impression of this class, this faculty, administration, and this school. And if I'm totally honest, I don't know if this is a truthful representation of the Santa Fe University of Art and Design. You know, even with the logo and the robes and the squares and the heads, everything. I don't know if this is the truth. Now hear me out. The image of a graduation ceremony, where the administration is located high above the graduating class, it's normal, it's typical, it's expected. But it's not us. It's not who we are. Now, as a human being, I am obligated to tell you the truth. As an artist, I am compelled to show you. So if I could show you the truth behind this school, I would lower this stage, right now, with everyone on it. And this platform would sink until the leaders behind me could look straight ahead and see every single one of my friends in front of me on the same level. Because that is the truth. That is us. The Santa Fe University of Art and Design does not look down on its students, it looks at us. It doesn't just watch us grow, it grows and matures alongside us. Our school, it's not above us, it's one of us. Now, as grandiose as that relationship sounds, it's also kind of weird. I mean, it's probably not what a lot of us envisioned when we were forging our academic futures all those years ago. As a matter of fact, I think a lot of us initially had a very simplistic notion of the role we were supposed to fill as students. We were supposed to attend classes and do well in them. We were supposed to go to campus events. We were supposed to fulfill the bare minimum requirements asked of us as a student body and nothing more. But then we got here, and we discovered that just as we had started a new chapter in our lives, so too had our school, and it showed. The Santa Fe University of Art and Design had reopened and rebranded itself while most of us were still in high school. The moment we realized that was the moment an unlikely partnership between school and students was born. And that's basically the best way I can define the last 4 years. While the school facilitated, we initiated. A tiny group of unsure undergrads quickly became a neighborhood of artists and visionaries with talents unlike anything you have ever seen. Now, this neighborhood has grown tremendously over the years, but the sense of a close-knit community, it never died. As a matter of fact, a lot of the bonds shared between students that were first founded even 4 years ago are still prominent to this day. I guarantee you. Now, of all the friendships and camaraderie on this campus, I believe the most important was the one that binded the students with their school. Thanks to our professors and our educators, we have come to understand our abilities, our niches, our self-defined artistry through experiences both bitter and brilliant. But this was a two-way street. Just as the school was helping us find ourselves, it was only fair that we return the favor. And we returned that favor big time. we, as a class, collectively constructed the supportive, strong-willed, and extremely passionate personality that has come to define this campus. That last one especially, like, we care about everything. It's great. But we're not just a passionate bunch. We're also very honest with each other, ourselves, and our school. And if I am to represent my friends with the most sincere accuracy and respect, I'm going to be honest with you. Not every experience here was perfect, or flawless, or solid gold. Our school... Don't know where that came from. Our school is one of us, and like any of us, it trips and falls in its face sometimes. But in all of human history, I don't think there's ever been a moment where someone tripped, hit the ground, and then thought to themselves, yeah, I'm good down here. I can stay. Guys, yeah, I'm good. You don't grow by being perfect. You don't learn from constant success. How can you reach new heights when you're doing just fine where you are? We have faced many hardships in our time here, and I believe they have been absolutely necessary for us to grow into the class, the administration, the school that we are today. For it was our struggles that have armed us with the knowledge we needed to face the future with genuine, sincere confidence. Oh, right. The future. The F word. Saying on a college campus is like, it's kind of like Voldemort, but scarier. I know a lot of us are feeling uncertain about the future. But if I may, I think we're more prepared than we know. And I think that largely has to do with the way we approached our school. We couldn't just sit around and wait for our school to get better. If there was something wrong, we had to step forward and become involved. We had to use our collective voice of a class and say something. And boy, we said a lot. We are a very talkative class. I believe that's how we approach the years ahead. We hype up the future like it's this terrifying monster, crushing dreams and destroying optimism. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a world as uncertain of itself as we are, especially right now in this country. And maybe it just needs voices like ours to bring back that sense of certainty. I believe our school showed us the future in a way none of us could have expected. But as a result, we now know how to build a better tomorrow, the same way we helped build a better school today, with passion, honesty, and a consistent call to action. We don't have to know what the next step is. We just have to know to take it. And if you ever doubt yourself when you're out there, guys, I want you to remember that today, you are here. That you and me and all of us prevailed. We did it. Actually, no, I take that back. That's not the truth. Because we did a whole lot more than just it. We didn't just go to school, we didn't just get a degree, and we didn't just do what we were supposed to do. We helped build a home. We planted the seeds of a burgeoning campus culture. We took this blank canvas of a school and we gave it some life, some color. We pitched our flag into the turf on the quad and proudly declared, "This is our school." We have done so much more than just graduate, and we are leaving behind so much more than just a footprint. Of course, we're not done growing. We're not done learning. We've still got a long way to go, all of us. But I believe our school is ready for the next step, whatever that may be. And however uncertain the years ahead may seem, I know the class of 2016, whom I'm honored to call my friends and my fellow graduates, they are ready to change the future. Make no mistake, I am certain of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Max. Thank you for your remarks. I agree with you. We are a very special, non-traditional group of creators and learners. For sure. So thank you, Max. So now it's my pleasure to introduce Steve Paxton, a faculty member in the Contemporary Music program, to come forward to introduce an exceptional citizen of Santa Fe and our honorary degree recipient.
Thank you. When people move to Santa Fe, they expect to meet some of the famous people who live here. And when we first moved to Santa Fe in 2003, the very first famous person I met was Jack Loeffler. But he wasn't doing the things that we expect famous Santa Feans to be doing. He wasn't signing books at Collected Works or sipping a latte at Downtown Subscription or mingling with the crowd at an art gallery opening. No, he was lugging around microphones and mic stands and cables and recording gear, setting up to record a concert of Santa Fe Pro Musica. And I think I was even privileged to help him lug around some gear that evening, before and after the concert. And then after that, it occurred to me that the things that Jack is famous for, the National Public Radio documentaries, the books and articles, and the thousands of hours of recorded interviews and oral histories, those things all require two things. They require lugging around a lot of recording gear, and they require being a great listener. And Jack Loeffler is, in fact, a professional listener. He's listened all over the Southwest to what other people have to say and to what the environment that we live in has to say to us. Learning from him can help us protect and maintain what is perhaps becoming a lost art form, the art of listening. Listening to the people around us, as well as the other wild creatures around us, and also listening to the natural world we live in, and through listening, learning to live in this place, the ultimate goal of education. So it is therefore my privilege this morning to introduce you to Jack Loeffler, and my greater privilege, along with you, to now sit and listen to what he has to tell us.
So before we hear from Jack, we would like to present him with an honorary degree. So I'd like to invite board member Tom Agason to assist me.
Thank you. Thank you. I am pleased, really pleased, to bestow Jack Loeffler an honorary Santa Fe living treasure with an honorary degree. Jack, we recognize and celebrate all of your contributions as an oral historian, sound collage artist, writer, and environmental activist. Through your focus on protection of watersheds, the relationships of indigenous cultures to homeland, traditional music as a mnemonic device, and understanding the role of cultural diversity and in the preservation of biodiversity. You have truly been an inspiration to our creative community and to me. And Jack is generous and he loves a healthy, large burrito con red chili. For your remarkable achievements and contributions to storytelling, as well as your vision, spirit, and intellectual curiosity, Santa Fe University of Art and Design is honored to confer on you upon the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, on this 14th day of May, 2016, Santa Fe, New Mexico. bet.
Congratulations, Jack. Congratulations, Jack.
Thank you so much, Maria.
Congratulations. It's my pleasure to now to invite you to deliver your commencement address to our graduates and their families. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. I am so honored. I cannot possibly go on with this, but I'll try. Oh. It helps to have been able to find my address. First of all, I'd like to say that I'm genuinely, deeply honored to have been invited to speak to you this very important day and to offer congratulations to all of you for having completed a long and arduous trail through your university training. Today is your rite of passage into a new sphere of endeavor, namely, your rite of passage into a new self-directed life. I really like what Max had to say because he was right on the mark. Your professors here at the Santa Fe University of Art and Design have helped you hone your talents and skills and invigorate your practices of self-discipline so that you're prepared to pursue whatever calling you find most compelling. Being involved in the arts while earning a living can be a challenging experience. This I know from personal experience. I haven't had a job since 1969. Woo! I'll drink to that. My old friend Richard Mahler, who is a terrific writer and a great radio producer, once said to me, "I don't have a career, I have a life." And I've reflected on that wisdom and taken it totally to heart. In the introduction to a book I wrote many years ago by my late compañero Edward Abbey, I included the following, and I quote, "Living a created, self-directed life is like running a wild river. You don't deny the current its due, but you work your own way through the rapids. Camp where you will. Explore the side canyons that intrigue you and relish the danger, heeding no higher authority than the truth." Ed's motto was, "Follow the truth, no matter where it leads." A great truth is, and this may sound a bit harsh, each of us will die in a far different world than that into which we were born. Whew. I was born in 1936, just about 80 years ago. In the course of my lifetime, listen to this carefully, in the course of my lifetime, the human population has more than tripled. Just think of that. I'd imagine that most of you were born in the final decade of the 20th century, or maybe some of you even the first couple of years of this decade. At the beginning of the 20th century, one of our greatest writers, Mark Twain, went broke trying to start a typewriter business. Today, almost all of us are writing on computers, have iPhones or their equivalent. This is indeed the age of techno-fantasy, a great word coined by my newly late friend Bill Brown, great historian. No doubt each of you is well trained in the technology appropriate to the pursuit of your respective calling, and that is an enormous advantage. But my own great concern is that as we become so specialized in our respective pursuits, that much about the rest of our perception of the natural world may go out of focus. We live in an age that is shaped by an economically dominated paradigm that serves the presumed needs of the human species, often leaving the natural world that actually spawned us in the lurch. Growth for the sake of economic growth has driven much of global culture, especially since the end of World War II, which is just about 3.5 human generations behind us now. We've somehow overlooked the fact that eternal economic growth in a world of finite resources cannot be sustained. As Ed Abbey pointed out, growth for the sake of growth is the ideology of the cancer cell. My late and dear friend Rena Swensel was born in the Tewa-speaking pueblo of Santa Clara along the western bank of the Rio Grande, north of Santa Fe. Rena Swensel was a traditional Indian lady who attained her bachelor's, master's, and PhD degrees so that, in part, she might have some sense of understanding what made American contemporary culture tick. As an oral historian, and by the way, I spell that A-U-R-A-L, I've had occasion to record Rena many times to be able to include her wisdom in my radio programs and museum sound collages and books. Back in 1995, I asked Rena Swensel to please talk about her own sense of community. Here is Rena Swensel in her own words. Daniel?
What I've been thinking about a lot with community is that we've gotten too small a definition of community. And I go back to Pueblo thinking because their community really was not just the human community. It included the place within which we lived, so that the mountains were part of community. The water was part of community. Trees, rocks, plants. You couldn't move through any day in that old world, even when I was growing up, without knowing that you were part of that whole community of trees, rocks, people. Today, what we do is really just talk about human community, and it gets to be such a small thing within the larger scope of things. We keep making the world smaller and smaller until it's nothing but us. It's just human beings. Out of context, out of our natural context, out of our cosmological context, we have become so small in our view of the world. Our world is simply us human beings. That's a crucial thing that we need to get beyond and move back again to seeing ourselves within context.
Rena Swensel, who passed away this past October 30th in her home in the Santa Clara Pueblo. Every morning from my house, when I get up, I walk outside on the western deck and I look to the northwest to Tsikumu Peak and wish my friend Rena the very best. Over the last half century, I've been privileged to spend deep time with people from many indigenous cultures. From as far north as the United States, Canadian boundary, to as far south as Chiapas in southern Mexico. I've never met a traditional Indian person who does not regard the landscape itself as sacred. In our own monocultural perspective, we've secularized habitat, our homeland, frequently to turn it into money. Indian peoples have taught me to understand the complexity of biodiversity and how everything is interrelated, that indeed cultural diversity and biodiversity are deeply intertwined. This leads to cognitive diversity, which we must all develop as we head into a particularly uncertain and unsettling future. Cognitive diversity is essential for responding to crisis. We face major crises that could well take us and many other species down. We've wrought enormous damage to our planetary habitat. We have but a limited and very dangerous, selfish, monocultural point of view. I believe that we have to look through many windows, many points of view, to find our way home again. I believe that our true goal must be to proceed mindfully within the realization that nature's bounty is a common resource for all living creatures, past, present, and future, and that no species has any right whatsoever to privatize these common resources, these common waters, the commons of human consciousness. Traditional indigenous cultures and other cultures that have evolved long-term sustainability within specific habitats retain the adaptability to shifting conditions, including resilience within the inevitability of change. In the most real sense, the indigenous nations and communities of the North American Southwest are seed pods of human survival potential over the coming century. We should heed their wisdom and learn to respect their intuitive understanding of the relationship of culture to homeland as we select and pursue our own trails through life. Indeed, people of the land point the way to such practices as restoration of cultural consciousness as we re-engage with the land and the flow of nature. To desecularize and then re-sacralize the landscape is a profound concept that we would do well to enshrine as the epitome of a land ethic. To engage in handcrafted lifestyles may yet lead the way out of the spiritual lethargy of consumerism and into lives filled with meaning. And here's a tough one. The truth is, today, we must rely on you and your generation to save us from ourselves. One of the most important works of fiction for my generation was The Lord of the Rings. I don't know if many of you here have read that book. One of my great heroes in fiction is Gandalf. And the one sentence that I truly remember above all others from that book was spoken by Gandalf when he said, "Advice is a dangerous gift, even from the wise to the wise." So I'm going to be very Spartan in my advice to you wonderful wise people out there. One, expand your consciousness to its limits. Two, live your own lives, not someone else's. And three, possibly most important, break as few bones as possible. Consciousness is nature's enormous gift to our species, and we've evolved over scores of millennia. How we use this gift of consciousness will determine how our role as a species either develops or decays over the coming decades. Looking deep into the heart of our galaxy on a summer night while listening to coyotes sing allows a glimpse in just how profound the gift of consciousness really is. In consciousness, we trust. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. I would now like to introduce Provost Deborah Turvila, who will present the student candidates for graduation from across the departments.
Dr. Puzzafero and Tom Agason, it is an honor for me to present to you on behalf of the faculty of the Santa Fe University of Art and Design, those students who have completed all requirements for their degrees or are scheduled to complete those requirements this May. They carry with them the faculty's sincerest wishes that they will find success and fulfillment as they welcome the creative challenges before them. Will the candidates from the art and business departments please stand and come forward? Daniel Alonso, Bachelor of Arts, Studio Arts. Sarah Hacknack, Bachelor of Arts, Studio Arts. Mariah Ramona Creelman, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Studio Arts. Maria Eltine Esquitz, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Studio Arts, cum laude. Chanel D. Espinoza, Bachelor of Arts, Studio Arts. Dylan Lewis Essert, Bachelor of Arts, Studio Arts. Sydney Hallahan, Bachelor of Arts, Studio Arts. Tiffany Elizabeth Hanna, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Studio Arts. Takia Fame Hudson, Bachelor of Arts, Studio Arts, magna cum laude. Garrett Edward Cook, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Studio Arts. Phat Trong Le, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Studio Arts, cum laude. Elizabeth Leonard, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Studio Arts. Justice Chloe Levine, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Studio Arts. Diego Andrew Daniel Lopez, Bachelor of Arts, Studio Arts. to be kidding me. Okay, one more time. Miguel Quintanilla Lucio. Sierra Haley Reisler, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Studio Arts, cum laude. Ryan Elizabeth Robertson, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Studio Arts, cum laude. Sarah Marie Rosenthal, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Studio Arts, summa cum laude. Sen Salinas, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Studio Arts. Chase Matthew Stafford, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Studio Arts, cum laude. Hallie Brennan, Bachelor of Business Administration, Arts Management, summa cum laude. Sarah K. Greenwood, Bachelor of Business Administration, Arts Management, summa cum laude. Melissa Miller, Bachelor of Business Administration, Arts Management, magna cum laude. Stevie Murray, Bachelor of Business Administration, Arts Management. Sydney Marie Smith McCarthy, Bachelor of Business Administration, Arts Management. Will the candidates from the Contemporary Music Department please stand and come forward? Sakif Mohammed Ali, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music, cum laude. Samuel Armstrong Zickafoos, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music, magna cum laude. Janelle Blanco Jombout, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music, magna cum laude. Alfredo Edel Carmona, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music, cum laude. John Frank Church, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music, magna cum laude. Abi Ben Cariz, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music. Eric Leonel Correño, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music, magna cum laude. Kyle Gregory Driscoll, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music, magna cum laude. Justin Flanagan, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music. William F. Flato, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music. Samuel Funk, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music, magna cum laude. Ronnie James Hernandez, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music, cum laude. Anthony Hester, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music. Connor Hunter Crump, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music. Maggie Johnson, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music. Colton William Liberatore, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music. Jordan Marshall Long, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music. Darrell Dwayne Luther Jr., Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music. Daniel Mensch Thurlow, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music. Matthew James Reuter, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music, cum laude. Daniel Luis Sanchez, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music. Nathan Smarridge, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music, cum laude. Jordan Daniel Solis, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music. Elise Nicole Stauffer, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music. Gabriel Thomas, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music. Paul David Wagner, Bachelor of Arts, Contemporary Music, cum laude. Will the candidates from the Creative Writing and Digital Arts departments please stand and come forward? Edebise Adamulligan, Bachelor of Arts, Creative Writing and Literature, summa cum laude. Miranda Poteet Bass, Bachelor of Arts, Creative Writing and Literature. Daniela Delia Cadena, Bachelor of Arts, Creative Writing and Literature, cum laude. Victoria Ann Daly, Bachelor of Arts, Creative Writing and Literature. Luke Henley, Bachelor of Arts, Creative Writing and Literature. Joshua John McGuire, Bachelor of Arts, Creative Writing and Literature, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Ann McCain, Bachelor of Arts, Creative Writing and Literature, magna cum laude. Franco Luis Romero, Bachelor of Arts, Creative Writing and Literature. Amelia Rose Wilson, Bachelor of Arts, Creative Writing and Literature. Marina Wolven, Bachelor of Arts, Creative Writing and Literature, magna cum laude. Paul Johnson, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Digital Arts, Animation. Yanling Wang, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Digital Arts. Will the candidates from the film school please stand? Felipe Alves, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. Jacob Thomas Archuleta, Bachelor of Arts, Moving Image Arts. Adeliza Bacchus Pace, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. Kimberly Lynn Vicenti, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production, magna cum laude. Corey Berzau, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production, magna cum laude. Andrew Bever, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. Kim Blacknall, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. Carlos Carrion, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production, cum laude. Santiago Cerón Ayala, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. K.T. Collins, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Post-Production, magna cum laude. Crystal Francesca Curley, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production, magna cum laude. Zoe Dahmen, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. Marcos de Leon, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. William Donald Gallego, Post-Production, magna cum laude. Christopher Garcia, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production, cum laude. Riley Davis Gardner, Story Development, magna cum laude. Anastasia Gelderman, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production, magna cum laude. Marjorie Frances Hodge, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film, Animation, and Visual Effects. Philip Alexander Hudson, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film, Story Development, summa cum laude. Kaylee Hughes, Bachelor of Arts, Moving Image Arts, cum laude. Deja Chanel Jackson, Bachelor of Arts, Moving Image Arts, magna cum laude. L'Ariel Joy, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. John Kessom, Bachelor of Arts, Moving Image Arts. Kyle Evan Lynham, Jr., Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. Vincent Mehran Mann, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production, summa cum laude. Max Marriner, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production, cum laude. Conrado Mike Moreno, Jr., Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. DeAndre Marcos Montoya, Bachelor of Arts, Moving Image Arts, cum laude. Sarah Okendo Granda, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production, summa cum laude. Devin Cole Oran, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. Raquel Vinkowski da Pena, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. Christian Cosmo Ray, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Story Development, cum laude. Austin Charles Rose, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. Brendan K. Sauer, Bachelor of Arts, Moving Image Arts, cum laude. Daniel Seymour, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. Tyler John Sherrick, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. Nathalie Aparecida e Silva, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. Carlos A. Silva Castro, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. Kent Marius Sievertson, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. Andrew Michael Stalin, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production, cum laude. Priscilla Torres Miranda, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production, summa cum laude. Seth Eulalio Trevino, Bachelor of Arts, Moving Image Arts, cum laude. Victor Trujillo, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. Matthew Villasquez, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production. Amy Elizabeth West, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Production, magna cum laude. Julie Krista Whitrock, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Film Story Development, summa cum laude. Will the candidates from the Graphic Design Department please stand and come forward? Cameron Blickensdorf, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Graphic Design. Candice Lynn Bobchuk, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Graphic Design. Dane A. Decker, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Graphic Design. Sergio Gervasio, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Graphic Design. David Caleb Ortega, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Graphic Design. Holly Caroline Pons, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Graphic Design. Hannah Reiter, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Graphic Design, cum laude. Rain E. De Stancisevan, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Graphic Design, summa cum laude. Brandon Schmidt, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Graphic Design, cum laude. Sarah Jennifer Traban, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Graphic Design. Will the candidates from the Performing Arts Department please stand and come forward? Alexandria Chavez, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Dance. Julian Gingell, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater, Musical Theater. Bryce Darren Hamilton Battenfeld, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater, Musical Theater, cum laude. Tristine May Henderson, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater, Acting, magna cum laude. Alexis Lacey, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater, Acting, summa cum laude. Ramiro Leal, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater, Acting, cum laude. Misha McIntyre, Bachelor of Arts, Theater Performance, cum laude. Brian Alexander Siegel, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater, Design Technical. Scott Shettig, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater, Acting, magna cum laude. Rachel Valentine Schuford, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater, Design, Technical. Matthew Glenn Smith, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater, Design, Technical, magna cum laude. Kevin Serena, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater, Acting. Andy Michelle Starr, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater, Musical Theater, magna cum laude. Courtney Ashley Taylor, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater, Acting. Olivia Eileen Taylor, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater, Acting, cum laude. Leola Celeste Urrutia, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater, Design Technical. Jared Vasquez, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater, Musical Theater. Courtney Erin Walsh, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater, Acting, cum laude. Nebraska James Washington, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater, Musical Theater. Evangeline Zotai, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Theater, Design Technical, cum laude. Will the candidates from the photography department and our self-designed majors please stand and come forward? Dylan M. Marlowe, Bachelor of Arts, Self-Design, Audio Engineering, Production and Design, magna cum laude. Darnell Edward Thomas, Bachelor of Arts, Self-Design, Business Art and Design. Ysidro Daniel Perelec, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Photography. Miles Christopher Brooks, Bachelor of Arts, Photography. Becca Bucklighter, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Photography, cum laude. Kylie Carter, Bachelor of Arts, Photography, cum laude. Craig Farrar Duncan Jr., Bachelor of Fine Arts, Photography. Chelsea Ana Garcia, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Photography. Pamela Ann Hauser, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Photography, summa cum laude. Samantha Podio, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Photography, cum laude. Forrest Trafford Soper, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Photography, cum laude. Christopher James Stalin, Bachelor of Arts, Photography. President Puzzafero and honored guests, I present to you the class of 2016.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the university, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Directors, I hereby confer upon you your respective degrees with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. I now invite our graduates to move their tassel from the right side of their mortar board to the left side, signaling the formal completion of your studies and receipt of your degree. Congratulations. Conclude the 2016 Santa Fe University of Art and Design Commencement Ceremony with a benediction offered by Brother Don Mouton. So please remain standing until the platform party and our honored graduates have exited the tennis center. And then we ask everyone to join us for a reception in the Campus View Cafe immediately following this ceremony. Guests will be able to join up with their graduates in front of the tennis center.
As we close this graduation ceremony, we congratulate our graduates who have successfully completed their degree programs. We thank the university staff, families, and all that have accompanied them to this day. Recently, I read about a little girl who was walking by a quarry of large, rough stones. There she saw many men busy shaping building stones. She asked the first worker what he was doing, and he answered, "Can't you see? I'm breaking my back, cutting these stones and earning bread for my family by the sweat of my brow." Continuing further on, the little girl became intrigued by a young man making detailed strokes with his hammer. "Tell me, sir, what are you doing?" she asked. "My little girl, I am cutting stones all day long, following precise instructions. That is my job. I'm exhausted and tired, excuse me." Then she encountered a proud, stalwart fellow, full of wrinkles, who seemed to make a vague smile. "And you," she asked, "what is your job?" Taking care to caress his stone with care, the man declared to her, "Me, my dear, I am building a cathedral." This little story is actually the beginning of a prayer, usually called the benediction at a commencement event. It is a prayer for all those involved in their academic journey, at times one of stress, uncertainty, and hard work. But that's only part, indeed a significant part, of our graduates' life journey. Our prayer is that each of the graduates can today say about this graduation event, "I am building a cathedral of a life of personal fulfillment that will also enrich this world by being a sign of the presence of the sacred and of purposeful engagement." We ask that our graduates be abundantly blessed as they continue building their cathedral for the glory of our Creator and Sustainer and the good of one another. Amen.